Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever wondered why some AI-generated animation channels just completely explode with millions of views, while others, well, they barely get a glance? Today, we're exploring the entire AI animation pipeline. This explainer breaks down the exact playbook top creators use to build captivating kids' stories from absolutely nothing but prompts and a little bit of creativity.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at why AI videos fail. Then we'll unpack the viral story formula, generating consistent characters, animating images into video, perfecting the voiceover, and finally, the final editing and assembly.
All right, Section 1, Why AI Videos Fail, the harsh truth. You see, there's a really stark contrast between amateurs and professionals in this space. A lot of beginners, they rely on lazy automation. They grab a generic script from ChatGPT, slap on a totally robotic voice, and use completely inconsistent art. And the result? Yeah, immediate swipe-aways. But if you look at the high-effort workflow on the flip side, viral creators actually take the time to write highly engaging hooks, design consistent characters, and meticulously edit their audio so it sounds warm and human.
Moving on to Section 2, the viral story formula, the secret sauce. So top channels actually use a really strict 4-part narrative formula to literally hijack the viewer's attention. It's like a giant puzzle. At 0 seconds, boom, you need the hook. That's a visually exciting scene that halts the scroll. By 10 seconds, you build the base setting. But hey, you can't just stay there. At the 15-second mark, you've got to introduce a sudden twist to rehook the brain right as it starts getting bored. And finally, from 30 seconds onward, you build toward a satisfying emotional ending, which naturally drives those subscriptions.
But to make that formula actually work, you have to speak a kid's language. Generic AI scripts just won't cut it, and copying outright, that's a total dead end. Instead, you've got to incorporate the holy trinity of kid engagement: animals, birds, and, well, pizza. Seriously. You want to analyze what elements are popping off in viral videos and then combine them to write a concept that is uniquely yours.
All right, Section 3, Generating Consistent Characters, the Visual Engine. Now, getting a character to look identical from scene to scene is probably the biggest headache in AI, right? But there is a genius workaround. First, just screenshot a reference character you love. Next, upload it into Google's Gemini. And here's the magic part. You prompt Gemini to strip away the background and any props. What you download is an isolated, perfectly clean character base. So now, you have your digital actor ready for absolutely any scene.
Once you have that isolated base, you feed it right back into the AI as an image reference, paired with a prompt like, "This farmer is sitting in front of a small house eating pizza and a big white pigeon is standing near him." Because the AI only has to focus on generating the new environment and the pigeon, it perfectly preserves your original character's face and outfit. It is totally seamless, a real game changer for sure.
Which brings us to Section 4, Animating Images into Video. The illusion of life.
Because let's face it, static pictures won't hold anyone's attention today. To bring them to life, top creators leverage the Goke AI app. The workflow here is beautifully simple. You just open the app, upload that scene you just generated, and apply a descriptive prompt. In under 30 seconds, your flat picture completely transforms into a living, breathing video clip. But here is the trick to not making it look like a cheap AI-distorted mess, and this brilliantly illustrates the point. Camera direction. Notice this prompt. The person is eating the pizza very happily. The camera will rotate around the person. By forcing the AI to execute specific cinematic movements, it dramatically boosts your production value. You aren't just generating anymore, you're directing.
Next up, Section 5, Perfecting the Voiceover, the Soul of the Video.
Audio is arguably the most overlooked secret to viewer attention. To cure that awful robotic text-to-speech sound, creators use a very specific audio stack. First, they generate the base voice in Film Pro. Convert that video file to an MP3, and then run it through Adobe Podcast Speech Enhancer. This step strips away all those digital artifacts, giving it a rich, studio-quality warmth before it even hits the final editing software. Then, inside Lexus Audio Editor, the magic really happens. You boost the bass and crispness on the equalizer, that's the left and right bars, then you add a very subtle echo and reverb. It seems minor, but these exact settings trick the ear into hearing a dynamic, engaging human storyteller. Finally, run a quick normalize effect to balance the volume, and boom, your audio is golden.
And finally, Section 6, Final Editing and Assembly, the polish.
Now for the final puzzle pieces in CapCut. First off, physically zoom in slightly on your clips to hide any pesky AI watermarks. Then drop in your mastered audio. And here is a massive retention trick for you. Physically slice and delete every single microsecond of silence between sentences. It keeps the pacing lightning fast. Adjust your video clip speed so they perfectly match the dialogue. Export that final project at full 1080p resolution, and you are done.
So, from dodging lazy automation to extracting consistent characters and engineering human-like audio, the mystery behind those viral channels makes so much more sense now, right? The tools are out there, and the entire playbook is literally right at your fingertips. Now you have the complete blueprint. The only question left is, what story will you tell first?